Defends her home from burglars. When a teenager kicked in her door last night, Casey slammed it shut and held on until police arrived.
Officers caught 4 teenagers not far from her house, including the one who tried to force his way inside. NewsOn6 crime reporter Lori Fulbright has the story for us. New at 6 o'clock. Lori?
Well, Scott and Terry, Casey is a very brave woman who acted on instinct to save herself and her 15-year-old daughter, who was also home with her at the time. She tells me she was ready to do whatever she had to survive.
I had a feeling something wasn't right.
Casey was sound asleep Thursday night when her dog would not stop barking. So Casey got up and looked out front. She saw a young man on her porch and 2 more in her driveway, so she called 911.
And then he starts knocking on the door, like really hard, almost like pounding. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah.
Casey says it was the scariest moment of her entire life. She knew she had to do whatever it took to protect her daughter and herself, but she didn't have a gun.
Well, I ran in there and I grabbed the biggest knife I could find.
So with knife in hand and staring out the window at her front porch, still on the phone to 911, something she had seen on scary movies but never dreamed would happen to her in her own home did.
All of a sudden the knocking stopped and the door flew open. And I was just, shocked.
She didn't even have time to think. She just acted on pure adrenaline and instinct, knowing she had to keep those burglars from getting into her home.
I just ran as fast as I could over there and I grabbed it and I slammed. And the lock was still open, you know, like how it goes in the door.
Right.
And so I opened it, I shut it, and I locked it back, and I told her, I said, they just broke the door.
She stood there holding that door closed with all her might until officers arrived just moments later. They quickly caught the 3 suspects Casey saw along with a girl. 3 of them were hiding under a neighbor's deck. 2 got bitten by police dogs, including Malik Johnson, the one Casey saw kick in her door, the one who left this near-perfect footprint right next to her doorknob.
I would have stabbed him. I would have figured some way out. I would have just gone at him and stabbed him, but...
You were fully prepared to do that? The suspects, 14, 15, and 16, were all booked for first-degree burglary. Casey's husband told me he wishes he would have been home instead of at work last night, and his wife will have a gun from now on. And Casey tells me she wouldn't hesitate to use it, but she sure hopes something like this never happens again. Lori Fulbright, NewsOn6.